We out here. Another episode of Nothing Nice. What's up? What's up? It's your man JB. I'm here with my brother Mook Jones.
Yo, yo, yo,
How,
yo, yo.
how you feeling, bro?
Man, feels good to be right, man. Feel good to be right.
But real quick, were you right?
Bro, I told you, bro. I said it was the best of both situations, bro. I said, bro, I'm gonna go with my boy, Jay Hurts. And I
Okay.
said,
You
and
did
then
you
I
did say
said,
you going with Big Brother.
yeah. And then I said, you can't never bet against Pat Mahomes, man.
Hey,
I
I've
said,
been on that all year.
you can't, I gotta see it to believe it, man. He's mythical, bro. He's mythical, bro.
Bruh,
If
I've been on that all year.
you don't blow this man out, if you don't literally blow his brains out, bro, he's gonna come back, bro. It's like, you know what they say, man, when you kill him, you gotta bring his head back, bro.
Put it
He
on the
still might
stake.
open, he still might open his eyes, man. Like, this dude,
Bruh.
you gotta put him out of his misery, bro. That's the only way
Alright,
you can
so
beat him, man. The only chance you got to beat
man,
this guy is, man, you gotta beat him by 40. And you still can't be comfortable.
okay, so let's get into it. Let's start with the AFC. Let's start with the AFC. So here we are again. Pat Mahomes does it again on his way to the Super Bowl. His what is it, fifth time in 7 years, I believe. So that's pretty crazy. And that along with another time Josh Allen couldn't get it done, man.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is 0-4 against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
Man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. You got to see the memes, bro. Like, everybody tired of Pat Mahomes. They said, man, write another script. It's like, man, I'm starting to feel the way about Pat Mahomes that I felt about Brady, man. You know what they say, bro. When you're at the top
That's
long
how you
enough,
know you great.
yeah, when you're at the top long enough, you become the villain, bro.
Man, listen, I'll keep it a buck with you. So when Tom Brady, when he was out there doing this thing and all that, right? I was one of the biggest Tom Brady haters. But
Me.
this time I said I'm gonna be on the right side of history. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be on the wrong side betting against Pat Mahomes and hoping he loses. And this man ends up with like 11 Super Bowls.
Right. But you know what,
That's a
man?
lot.
I would feel that type of way, man, but like, I'm only halfway there, if you know what I mean.
What you mean?
I'm only halfway voting on him, halfway there. I'm halfway there, man.
Okay,
I'm halfway there.
man.
Like I
Okay,
said,
so
it was good to see him get one, man. But I'm ready to see a new champion, man.
okay, so but
It gave us a little
before
break.
we get there, before we get there, repeat this. Okay, so just looking at the last game.
Hmm?
Everything was set up perfectly for Josh Allen to put his stamp on history, on his legacy, to like actually like start to boost it up, to maybe put some separation between him and Lamar and Joe Burrow and that group of guys. Because obviously Patrick Mahomes is head and shoulders above the rest of the crew, but it was his chance to be Peyton Manning or Ben Roethlisberger and kind of solidify like, okay, it's him, me, and then the rest of y'all together. Again, he couldn't get it done. So do you think that he should be getting the criticism that we've been giving Lamar, that people have been giving Lamar?
And
0 and 4.
you got to because you got to, man, because when you look back in history, like he if Lamar was to never play football again, I think Lamar is a Hall of Fame.
I agree.
But if Josh Allen was to stop playing football, what can
Right.
you say? He's not a Hall of Famer. He don't got no MVPs. He don't got a Super Bowl appearance. I mean, like, we already had a Dan Marino. I'm
Right.
sorry, that spot is already taken. Hey, it ain't enough
Yeah, we
great.
can't have two Dans. That's facts.
That's just facts, bro. That spot is
Yeah.
already taken. The one quarterback that can get in there without being a champion, that spot's already taken, bro.
Yeah.
So, and then you ain't no Jim Kelly. You ain't been to 4 Super Bowls and lost.
Right.
So you ain't even the greatest Bills quarterback of all time. So how you gonna be like? bro, you got to win some MVPs. You got to win a couple, to me. Because like I said, how you going to be a Hall of Famer? You ain't even the greatest. You ain't even the greatest quarterback of Buffalo of all time. That's still just...
Yeah. I mean,
That's
no, you speaking facts. And my problem was this on top of what you said, because I agree with what you said. But on top of that, man, so Patrick Mahomes comes down, they get the field goal to put themselves up 3. Like, that's huge. That's
right.
what Patrick Mahomes does. You get the ball back. You get a chance. Like, I don't want to hear anything about refs or flags or the Chiefs, this, that, and the third. You had every chance to get it done. You had the rock in your hand with the clock winding down, no timeouts for KC. All you have to do is just get a field goal. That's what it came down to. Get a field goal, you get to go to overtime. Each team gets a chance to get the ball and figure it out. He couldn't do that.
You too
He
busy
could
trying to
not
be...
get it done.
You too busy trying to be Jalen Hurts, thinking they can do the touch push. Who are
Man,
not
they were doing too much on that 4th and 1.
but not the
That was
Eagles.
their go-to.
He single-handedly stopped that play from ever being talked about being banned. Because everybody can't do it. So
That's
now
facts.
you cannot punish Philly for being unstoppable at it.
No.
Because we clearly see that everybody can't do it.
Man, that's because Jalen Hurts, he squats about 600-700 pounds. So
But
if
I'm saying, but it's
everybody
not
push it, he
just
could do it.
Jalen Hurts. Because you seen, and I love Jalen Hurts, but you seen it when Kenny Pickens got in there. He did like 2
Yeah.
or 3 touch pushes. It's a system, bro. That offensive line coach, it's a system. You take Jason Kelce out of it, he retires, you plug Jurgens in, same thing, bro. The results don't lie. And then now
Yeah.
they're gonna get better. You seen already they put some wrinkles on it where they threw a deep ball to AJ Brown. They just couldn't connect. So man, I'm telling you, man, like this play, man, watch out, man. Watch out.
Man, for
Oh,
sure. Now,
granted.
I think also in that Bills Chiefs game, I feel like Cook should have got the ball more. If they were for real about winning, because Cook, he was the only one who was out there like,
Man.
man, he was out there really moving the rock.
Right.
He was really moving the rock. So for them to like not give him the ball as much as they should, or not have him in there on 4th downs the way they should, that's a little questionable at the coaching position.
Right. That's what I'm saying, man. So we gotta just... I ain't gonna say I ain't no by any means. I'm not even really a Josh Allen fan. I just feel like they been trying to hype this dude up and ain't did anything. Like I don't understand, man. Like I don't understand. Like Jalen Hurts this is his second Super Bowl in 3 years.
Right.
They still got Joe Burrow, who's not only hurt every other year, but didn't even make the playoffs this year. But he's still you got Pat Mahomes and you got
Yeah.
Burrow right under there and Lamar. I'm like, why? He's still off his 1 Super Bowl period, and he didn't even play that great in the Super Bowl. And then you got Jalen on the other hand, went to the Super Bowl, outplayed the GOAT, the future GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Did
Yeah.
everything right, but he couldn't go out there and play cornerback when Bradbury was killing the game in the Super Bowl.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I think it does come down to this. The only reason Jalen Hurts isn't being put in the same ahead of those guys like Josh Allen and Burrow is because they're not asking Hurts to do the same thing that they're asking those guys to do. For Hurts, it does seem a lot like it's more just don't make the turnover. For them,
Oh,
it's more so go win the game.
oh my goodness. You sound like everybody else, man. Come on,
But
man.
okay, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. When's the last
I
time?
feel like that's lazy commentary, man. And I gotta get on you, man.
Okay, go
Because
ahead. Why?
you ain't watching him check into these runs. He's checking out of runs out of pass play sometime and checking to these runs. You gotta look at, man, their explosive plays are in the run game. I mean, if you can't stop it, why I'm not gonna. You gotta stop me, right?
Right.
It's just like Shaq in the Lakers, right? Why not? Why stop going to Shaq, right? People would say, well, Shaq, all you gotta do is foul him and put him on the line. Obviously, that didn't work. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's just like, if you can't stop me from running, why would I do you a favor by pass 30 times if you can't stop me from running? Everybody in the stadium know I'm gonna get the ball. I'm still rushing for 200 yards on it.
Okay, so I hear you. I hear you. That sounds good. Here's why I would disagree a little bit. Okay, yes, the Eagles great at running, great at running. I'm not arguing against that at all. The only thing that I have pushback on
Okay,
is
before you start though, before you go up in your soliloquy, let me just say this one thing. Before
okay.
you go on what you gotta say about Jay.
Okay.
What you saying would be true if we didn't see him be second runner up in MVP in 2022 and lead his team to a Super Bowl passing. Because every running back that he's played with in the 4 years he's been there had a career year and went on to get good contracts. Every
That's
running
because of the O line, though. That's not because of him.
back.
That's because of the O line. Because okay, so here's the difference. Here's the difference between him and Lamar Jackson. Lamar, because they can both run, but Lamar Jackson's a better runner and a better thrower than Jalen Hurts is. So if you said Lamar Jackson, how he plays opens up more opportunities for Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's already a great back, but just Lamar being Lamar, and you have to always factor that in, makes it easier for Derrick Henry than like for sure. But Jalen Hurts, like no defense is coming into the game super worried about, man, he's really about to just throw us out of this game. You're shocked if he does. You're like, man, he had an amazing game. Like if he has like 250, 300 with like 2 touchdowns, you're like, he had an amazing game. He had a great game. If Josh Allen has that same game, Joe Burrow has that game, if Lamar Jackson has that same game, if CJ Stroud had that same game with 250, 2 touchdowns, you're just like, it's a regular game for them.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Not in the playoff. No, I'm not looking at it like that. Because I'm
Bro.
looking at it like Josh Allen had 120 something yards passing against the Ravens, and they was just raving about how he was so good he didn't have no turnovers. When you get to the
I feel like
playoff, when you
I
get
mean
to the
that was overstated. That was overstated. I feel like that was for sure overstated. They gassed that a little bit
playoff,
because
the reason why Josh Allen done won that game because they didn't turn the ball over, and the Ravens turned the ball over. Because Lamar almost threw for 300 yards, which y'all so big on. Oh, throw for 300 yards, throw for over 250. He threw for that
yeah.
many yards, but when you putting the ball in the air that much, there's more room for mistakes.
It is, however, the mistakes that he made in said game, like the fumble, that was just a mess coming out of it. The interception that was thrown, he was just trying to make a play, trying to throw it up to give his guy a chance. But even with all that, because his arm was so dynamic and his legs were dynamic and Derrick Henry was Derrick Henry, because all of those factors, even with those 3 turnovers at the end of the game, what happened? There are Mark Andrews blender from tying that game up and going into OT.
If that would have been Jalen Hurts in that situation, he probably would have checked to a run where they was winning on that line of scrimmage and gave the ball to Derrick Henry. And they would have
You
ran
say
him.
check to a run, it would have been a run the entire time. Okay, they would have been like, "Hey," they would have said, "Hey,
Several
can we push from the 2? Let's do
look,
it."
you can watch several games where Jalen Hurts has checked to the correct run. I love the game against the Rams where he checked to great runs and they broke it for 70, 80, 90 yards. That's Jalen Hurts. That's Jalen freaking
It looked
Hurts.
like Saquon when he was running though.
It's Saquon, but who's setting that up? Who's moving them linemen? Who's setting up the protections in the runs? Jalen Hurts. A lot of times, Jalen
Okay.
taking to those big plays. Yeah, it's not a big play as in we throwing for the big play, but it's a big play as in we hitting a big run. It's just the amount. Like when you look at big plays, they mostly see them as passing plays. But just like
In
with
this
the
play,
Eagles, it's the other way around.
in
And
this
also,
playoff run, in this playoff run, and partially because how they play and how amazing Saquon has been, the Eagles haven't had to play from behind in this playoff run. Uh, so with that being the case, like it's when you have Saquon who's going for 60-yard touchdowns, 70-yard touchdowns, 50-yard touchdowns, it's like the equivalent of a throwing play, like a big pass play.
right.
I'm not gonna give. I'll give Jalen Hurts if he shifts the line or slides the protection or whatever the case may be in that front. If he does that, cool. But that's really the O line and Saquon.
Yeah. But
Saquon being able to get a 1-on-1 or being able to spin off two people like he did for the first play of the game against Washington and get in the house.
right. But I just feel like so many people they disrespect Jalen Hurts and what he does when y'all will say Josh Herbert, Justin Herbert is a top 5 quarterback, and Jim Harbaugh would love for Justin Herbert to do exactly what Jalen Hurts is doing.
So, okay,
So
but
that's
you'll never
the
hear me.
formula.
You'll never
That
hear me call Justin Herbert a top 10 quarterback. That's
everybody in
not gonna
this field,
happen.
but everybody in this field always say Josh Herbert, Josh Herbert, and
Yeah,
they would love for Josh Herbert to be half the man that Jalen Hurts is at quarterback, managing the game,
Justin.
not turning the
No,
ball
for sure
over.
they would. No, for sure. Because Justin Herbert, when the moment gets, when the lights get bright, he dwindles for sure.
Right.
His light dwindles when the lights get bright and the pressure's on. No doubt about that. To me, he's an arm talent. He's just one of those guys who's an arm talent, but it doesn't actually translate when it matters the most.
That's my brother Eric. One of, who we gonna have on this week? That's a Eric type guy.
No, for sure, for sure, for
That's one of
sure,
Eric's
for
guys,
sure.
man. That's one of the ones he have on his list. His list got all the talent in the world by his standards.
Big facts.
By his
Big
standards.
facts.
But my whole thing is, but like Jalen, bro, like man, you like, and look at him and Josh Allen came in. Like I think they came in what the same year. Or was
No,
it the year
I
after?
don't think so.
He probably came in a year
Let me
after
see.
Josh Allen.
Yeah, I don't think they came in together.
They did though. I don't know. Hold on, did they? How many years Josh Allen been in the league? 5, 6.
Let me see. Jalen was drafted to the Eagles in 2020, and Josh Allen was drafted 2018.
2018. Okay.
Yeah.
But my whole thing too, and that's another thing. When they say Josh and stuff like that, when you look at Josh, his first year struggled mightily. He got Diggs, career took off, right? Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, he gets AJ Brown, goes to the Super Bowl. Have an MVP run-up type year. You know what I'm saying? You look at the winning since Jalen Hurts been a starter. He's
Right.
13 wins behind two people. Pat Mahomes and who is it? Pat Mahomes and I want to say Lamar, and then you got Jalen Hurts.
Probably. That sounds right. Because Lamar goes to the playoffs every year too.
Man don't do nothing but wins. He tell you, man, all I care about is winning. It's like y'all ain't gonna respect Jalen Hurts because we seen when he missed games, they lose. You look at
Okay,
the
so tell me
22
this.
season, they
And
was
this is
17.
jumping this is jumping the gun for our topics.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of getting into next week. But okay, but tell me this. You don't have to go too deep into it. If the Super Bowl comes down to a throwing match, right? Uh, KC, they're not stacking the box. They're playing honest. and they're just making plays, and it's back and forth, and it turns into a throwing match because of time and everything like that. Do you trust Jalen?
That it
Wait, say
wouldn't
it
come
again.
it wouldn't come down to a situation like that.
If
The
it
only way,
came down to a throwing match,
so
do you trust
what you saying
Jalen?
don't make sense because you saying if they in an honest defense where they ain't stacking the box, Jalen is gonna make the right play. He's gonna check to a run, and they probably gonna hit it big, which Saquon Barkley can take a pitch 70 yards on the first play of the game, 60 yards on the first play of the game. So if
I
you
just want to.
So no, I'm giving you an honest answer. He's telling you every game, y'all keep wanting him to go out there and throw the ball 40 times, but he's going to make the right play. So if you telling me in a situation where, okay, if you said Jalen Hurts is down by multiple scores and it's in the fourth quarter, do I think he can go on a run? Yes, because then you in your hurry up offense. And most of the time, when a team get in the league and they get in the hurry up offense, what most defenses do? They play a shell coverage or some type of prevent coverage. So
Right.
everybody running wide open. So of
Start
course,
playing zones and let you pick it.
Jalen Hurts, guess what he's gonna do? He's gonna pass the stat pad. So it's still gonna look good. So he's still probably gonna go right down the field and they're gonna get into the red zone, and then they're gonna try to move the men up, and then they're gonna try to play man
Right.
coverage, and then guess what we got? The world man beater. We got Smith, who will literally jump over your head and take the ball out there. And then we got AJ Brown, who will literally bully you, who will literally take you to the end zone and back you up on the back shoulder. So really, how you gonna stop us? Because you know that I'm telling the truth. So
I mean, it sounds good, and I mean that's usually what happens. Usually, what happens is they run the ball, between the running back and the quarterback until they can open up the pass game. They
right,
do it, run. They do it basically like an old school football team. We're gonna
right,
run first, and then when we get a chance to throw, we're gonna throw it.
right. Hit you
So
with a chin or a back shoulder, and you can't do nothing about it. Because you ain't gonna play man coverage. If you play man coverage on the Eagles, you said go ahead and let's throw it go like they did on 4th and 5. They want to go ahead and stack the box, put 9 in the box, and then they try to disrespect. They try to press AJ Brown.
that was wild. Now that was wild.
Run it, hey, and
That was wild.
they talking about Jalen Hurts made a pinpoint pass. No, he was beat so bad he just had to put it anywhere in the vicinity.
Just run under it.
They call this man Swole Batman for a reason, and you gonna try to press him? Okay, have your day. Have your day,
No,
Jalen
yeah.
Hurts.
No. They did get a little bit beside themselves trying to press
Yeah.
them on one-on-one coverage with no help over the top. That was pretty wild.
So my thing is, if you're gonna stack the box, Jalen Hurts said, okay. It's the reason why everybody ain't selling all the way out. If this ain't no Tim Tebow situation. I promise you it ain't.
No, for sure. I never disrespect him
Promise
like
you.
that.
I promise you stack that box, you put 9 in that box, 8 in that box you want to. I'm telling you, he'll throw for 400 yards on your monkey end. I'm telling you that. He would throw for 400 yards on you. I'm telling you that. This is what I know.
You talking big. You talking big. Okay, so real quick, let's talk. Because we talked about Buffalo, we need to give Washington some love, man, because they
Yeah.
went far. Man, what's crazy is Daniels look like the vet out there.
Bro,
Daniels for sure look like a vet
well,
out there.
you got to give McLaurin his McLaurin was ready. But
Oh yeah.
everybody else didn't show up. The rest of the team didn't show up.
Yeah. Those fumbles, man, I can't even explain it because it looked like every time I looked up, the ball was on the carpet.
Right. And I gotta say
So
this too. And I gotta say this
yeah,
too, bro. You cannot, as a coach, be putting bulletin board material out there. These guys are already at home. They already motivated. They already
momentum.
they already motivated. They already know they gotta get that nasty taste out their mouth. And then you gonna put some bulletin board material talking about we gonna hit their quarterback. And
Yeah,
you come
they
out
said
there,
if you out the pocket, we hitting you.
yeah. And then you gonna come out there on the first play of the game. The first play of the game. Let the man go 60 and hit the goalpost. Not only that,
Man.
you gonna let the man run, let the team run 7 touchdowns in on you? 7? 7 rushing touchdowns?
So I mean, at least they know what they got to work on in the offseason.
If I'm Dan Quinn, I'm saying, man, you need to shut up. Don't ever thought.
No,
Don't do no
for sure, for sure.
All right,
Magic Johnson come
Ryan
down, have
Clark?
some words with you. But in the offseason, they're gonna have to strengthen that defense, man. Because on offense, honestly, even though they had those fumbles and the turnovers, they still like any other. If their defense was worth anything, that day, they would have been able to do more. Now I know defenses get tired because you're out there, all that time, and then boom, turnover, you're back there, you're back out there on the field. But they're gonna have to strengthen that up. They need their defense to start forcing turnovers. The same way that they did against the Lions.
I'm gonna be honest with you. They lost that game when they went 18 plays, 7 minutes, and settled for a field goal.
I agree.
They lost that game when they settled for a field goal. Because
I feel like they lost that game when Saquon scored.
How you gonna go for 4th down 3 times and then get in the red zone, and then now you want to decide to kick the field goal?
Yeah, but for me, I knew that they were when Saquon scored that touchdown first play. I was like, this game's over. I said, this game. I said, Washington, they may score on this next drive, they may not. No matter what, this game is over. I was actually talking to Chris because we were all out to eat, and I was like, man, this game's over. Like when I saw Saquon run, then I saw the momentum they had and how the team just looked. They're electrified on the sideline, and then it just got worse from there.
That's what I'm saying. I said, this is what I was saying. When they kicked the field goal, they threw him out the house. Yeah. When he scored that 1 point, when he scored from on the first play of the game, they closed the door. You ain't get back in. You ain't got a key. You ain't got a key. Hey, go sit at the little kids' table. That's what they're telling them. Grown folks here.
Not you get the chicken tenders. Yeah. You get the chicken tenders and the crayons.
No, you don't get the big piece of chicken. Like everybody, you get the little piece of chicken.
Yeah, you get the little drumstick.
Yeah. So, man, it was over, bro. You told your team right there. Because if they was against the Lions, they going for that. When they played against the Tampa Bay, they was going for that. They got scared. He went against what he been doing all year. He waited to get to the biggest game of their life and decide, we're going to play scared. And that's what happened. You got to
listen, scared money don't make money.
And then
scared money don't make money.
Then Jay Dale was like, damn, coach.
Yeah.
Put me in the game. They failed him.
So this draft that's gonna be coming up this year, it's gonna be pretty good on defense. It's gonna be really good on offense, but it's gonna be pretty good on defense. Washington, if I'm Washington, I'm going out and I'm getting defensive playmakers, whether it's in free agency or through the draft. They have to get defensive playmakers because that offense is doing their thing. They may want to get like another tight end just because Ertz is getting older, like for sure. Like he still looks good, but it is what it is. At some point, you're gonna hit the wall. Maybe another wide receiver to put on the other side of McLaurin. Right. But they have some holes that they could plug in to where if they plug them in the right way, they'll be in the Super Bowl next year. And for the Bills, man, the Bills are actually just how they play. They play correctly. Right. I really don't know what I would really add to the Bills because even like wide receiver, they were good. I know what's the tight end's name? Kincaid. Yeah. Yeah, I know he dropped that Hail Mary at the end, but that was a hard catch to make. That wasn't like the mark. Listen, the tight ends were on break, but I don't put that with the Mark Andrews one. The Mark Andrews one, that just hit him in the stomach, and he should have caught that. The Kincaid had to come back to it and dive for the ball in order to try to make that play.
You got to make that play. You got to make those.
I agree.
The Kansas City is make Kansas City led the team in drops all everything. They ain't dropping that.
Yeah, yeah, man. Okay, so if you're the Bills, what are you adding to your team?
From the Bills, man, I'm going to get that offensive line coach from the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm offering that nigga. I'm offering that guy the bag, bro. I'm offering that
But
guy the bag.
that's not even an option though. He's not leaving Philly to go to Buffalo.
Nah, for real though, I'm probably looking at building up I'm probably looking to the offensive line more. Because, you can
Yeah.
always you can't never have too much depth at that offensive line position.
I could somewhat see that. I could somewhat see
A
that.
relatively small team on the back end on defense too. On the front end, that front line is kind of
Yeah.
small. So I'm thinking
But they do that so they can get to the quarterback.
I'm thinking they building up the trenches though, because guys are just
Okay.
bigger and faster now. So I'm looking at the O line and defensive line, and I'm still trying to make a sprint more stronger. If that's a sprint line, I'm trying to put backups behind them because you can't never have enough big guys, man. So it's tough in the trenches, man. You're gonna get hurt. You're gonna lose
Yeah.
2 guys in NFL in a long season too. It's 17 games. You need
Yeah.
all the linemen you can get, good linemen. You need all the defensive linemen, defensive ends, defensive tackles. You can never have enough of those guys, quality guys, because you're gonna lose some. Man, you're gonna get hit. You ain't nowhere around.
Yeah.
It's every play. So, you can never have enough of those guys, especially on the defense. You can never have enough of those guys, especially, you can't have your premier defender, man, taking 90-something snaps a game. I mean, he's gonna wear down before the end of the season.
No, that's true. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, yes on defense, because if you have a defense that can shut teams out, that's a dream as well. But for the Bills, if I'm the Bills, I would probably I might go the tight end route. I'm
Tight
either
end.
the tight end or a big wide receiver, a big wide receiver that where like you could get good possessions, to where when you're down on that 3rd and 3, you have a big target that you could because Josh Allen can throw like for
Bro,
all his whatever,
but
a big target who you could just hit.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
think you do it in the draft though. I think you do it in free agency. I'm thinking you
The
got
only
out there. Why not go for T. Higgins? Because they got the money. I mean, who they paid other than Josh Allen?
That's true. But
And he want
T
to go to a team where
Higgins,
he's winning. He want to go to another winning team,
yeah,
and he want to be a number one. They ain't got no number one right now. They do not have a number one. They do not have a number one right now.
yeah, T Higgins is gonna be big in this market though, because because honestly, KC whether they win or lose, they need a wide receiver too. So I
Yeah,
can see KC trying to put their hat in the ring. So if it's between KC and Buffalo, you're going to KC. And they
I don't think. I mean, go ahead, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut y'all.
yeah, so KC needs a wide receiver. Pittsburgh needs a wide receiver. Uh, there's a couple teams. I was gonna say the Rams could use another wide receiver as well. Washington could, yeah, man. They're gonna let Cooper
Oh,
Cup
the number
go.
one. He just been hurt.
They're gonna let Cooper Cup go.
I'm saying Puka Nacua is the number one.
No,
They
no,
don't
yeah,
the two number one.
Puka's no, Puka's for sure good. But if you can have Puka and T Higgins and have Matthew
I'm just
Stafford throwing them the rock,
from T. Higgins' perspective, he want to be the guy. It ain't just about going to another team and being a number two. He want to be the guy.
he doesn't have to be the two. That's like having two number ones.
And
And then
he
because he's
might
gonna
not be
get
in
his
that
targets.
situation. Because at the end of the day, it's only one number one. Because who gets paid like the number one? He had a two number one situation in Cincinnati.
But Puka's not up for Puka. I think is 2 years away from a contract. Because
My
last year,
thing is,
this year was his sophomore year. Last year was his rookie year. So
but I don't see him going. I can see him, like I said, I can see him because you got even though you say Kansas City need a one, my guy was really stepping up. Simeon Rice, was it Simeon Rice? Rice for Kansas City.
Right. I know who
He's
you're talking about.
coming along to be the true number one for that team. He got hurt this year. He
Right.
was a big part of their offense. He was their number one receiver. I don't think
Right.
Kansas got a receiver problem. I think they have an injury problem. And everybody seems to be getting healthy but Rice. Because you got to look at Worthy. This is for his first year. This is the 4-2.
Right.
He's going to
Right.
get better, especially
Yeah.
he's going to get better. You got Rice going to come back. He was turned into the number one threat. I mean, that playoff run last year, he was a number one, a bona fide number one. He was about all they had.
Right.
And then you got, I don't know if they're going to re-sign my guy that just signed with a number
D Hop.
D. I don't think they're going to re-sign D Hop. They
D
might.
Hop and Juju Smith Schuster.
I just think I think he's on. I think he's a rental player. But you know, Schuster found a
Yeah.
home. He really familiar with them. You know, his days of getting them big contracts. I think he know they're over. So I just think it's
That,
about
that was an AB. That was an AB complimentary
right,
contract.
right. But I think his days of getting that big contract. I think he's at home with Kansas City. Him and Pat Mahomes got a real good rapport. He played real big for them last year. He steps up in big time moments. It's clear that he's not a number one, but if you got him as a third or second or third option, he's very clutch for you. He's not fast, but he know how to get open. He's like a
He does.
he's like a Julian
Edelman.
Julian Edelman type
Julian
player.
Edelman, Wes Walker,
Uh,
Danny Amendola type.
Crosby, like that Crosby guy that used to play for when he played, because that's one thing too. Like Crosby was a real good player. Like he was good for Dak, and then he went to Buffalo. He was good for Josh Allen at the time. Max Crosby, is it Max Crosby, or is it I can't think of his name, first name. But yeah, he was really good for them, man, in that slot. So I think he's a real good slot receiver, man. He's tough. He'll go through the middle. So I don't think Kansas City have a receiving problem. I think they got an injury problem, and I think they also getting older on the
None
defense.
of the guys you named were T. Higgins. I'm sorry, but none of the guys you named. I heard what you said, but if you can have T. Higgins on one side and you can have Worthy on the other side, and then you could whoever you'll have Kelsey, of course, at tight end, and then you can figure out if you want to go four and have uh, D Hop out there if you decide to keep him
Where they
or
going to get the
Rice
money
because
to
we
pay?
don't know what Rice is going to be.
Where they going to get the money to pay him?
Who's being paid?
Pat Mahomes is probably going to restructure his deal.
That contract has stretched out. That's
Chris
good. He's
Jones,
good.
I think you got to pay him. Well, he's older, but I think you still got to pay him.
Right. I believe he got paid last year.
And them corners, they got young corners. They finished be getting paid. You got to pay those young corners that they got.
Ish.
So I don't see him going to a Kansas City. I see him going, and I don't think the Bengals is going to add more fuel. They are not going to add more power to. They are not going to add more power to Kansas City. They're not going to let that man stay in the AFC. They're going to send him somewhere in the NFC, bro.
Well, that's if he gets traded. If he's a free agent, he can go wherever he wants.
I can tell you who they could go for. Now, I see Kansas City going now because they do sneaky and conniving stuff. I can see them trying to make a push for like a George Pickens because I do not believe he's going to be back in Pittsburgh. Now, I can see them getting a rough around the player like him, like I said, like who I just said.
Yeah, George Pickens. I will only get George Pickens if I could keep D Hop there, because I feel like D Hop could big bro him, like not like in a disrespectful way, but in like a bro. I've already been one of the best wide receivers in the league. Like let me help you with the mindset part, kind of like OG Steve Smith to Benjamin type vibe.
I don't think that type of personality would get to him. You know how you got different guys? I don't think a D-Hop type personality would get to him. I can see him under, or like if he went to like a Washington and played under like a Terry McLaurin. That type of leadership. That's going to say, hey,
Why?
because Terry McLaurin, you can tell he's just like I've been seeing a lot
And
of
that's
him.
my Buckeye. So, but go ahead.
Man, your mama made me say I came my mind, bro. But anyway, what I was saying, but I like Terry McLaurin because, man, like I said, I feel like he's a vocal leader. I also feel like
Yeah.
he's not one of them rah-rah get in your face. I think he's a lead by example. Like, hey, we got a standard here. We're gonna live up to that standard. And then they got a dog at quarterback who's only gonna be better. Because Jalen Hurts the first type of quarterback like his kind where I don't even look at him as a running quarterback. I look at him as a pocket passer.
No, he's a passer who can. He's a quarterback who can run.
Right.
He's a
I don't look
quarterback
at
who
him
can run.
even like a Lamar Jackson. You even though he was great, he's a great passer now. You were like, yeah, he gonna have to develop into that. Even like to my
Right.
boy Jalen Hurts, because he's so big at top, he was not a natural thrower of the ball. He had to work on it. Like
Correct.
Jalen Daniels is like a natural thrower of the football. Like you
Yeah.
can tell he's a pocket passer. Like you don't you don't expect him to ever throw for 3,000 yards in a season again. This is gonna be a career 4,000-yard passer every year. You see it. No
Right.
matter he's making the players around him better. I mean, at one point, um, he was making the Brown look good in the playoffs. And then it was number 85 at the beginning of the season before he got hurt. He was looking good. Oh, I can't think of his name. The one that caught the Hail Mary. Number 85.
Against the Bears.
Yeah. Dang, I can't think of his name,
I know
man.
who you're talking about.
But yeah, he was looking real good. I think he got hurt or something. But he was looking real.
The only thing I'll be worried about though, what do you because the quarterback wide receiver uh, connection is super important.
Right.
The rapport is super important.
Right.
With Pickens, would you worry about Pickens, his demeanor, his attitude, whatever else comes along with them? Would you worry about how that could influence a young quarterback in year two?
No. No, I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it in Washington because he's going to get his target. I mean, you got to look at Cliff Kingsbury too. He's in an air raid system.
Mm-hmm.
That system, you're going to throw the ball 30 times a game. He's going to get his opportunities. And then you can really not double team him because you got Gary Terry, and then you got George Pickens who can take the top off. And then you got a young quarterback who's got the ultimate green light, who's going to give you a chance like 2 to 3 times a game.
Yeah.
If you think Russ going to earn that thing out, he's going to earn that thing out 2 to 3 times a game. And he's due for an MVP type season. So
Wait, who?
Jaden Daniels. Because I
Oh,
don't
okay. No.
see him regressing, because he's just good enough to, like, if it ain't there throwing the ball, he's going to pull it down. He's going to make the efficient play. He's going to get down. He's not going to
Yeah.
take a lot of damage. I'm telling you, man, if I'm a big-time receiver, I'm trying to find my way to Washington.
Oh no, I can agree with that for sure.
Terry McLaurin
I'm
already showed
Higgins I
me.
would too.
Because Terry McLaurin's
Okay,
already
so
showed
real
me
quick.
he's not a selfish number one.
Yeah. Real quick though, let's switch it up real quick. And since we're in the NFC East, the Eagles are doing their thing. The Giants are trying to figure it out. Washington did their thing. What you think about that Cowboys coach pick? Man, did you see the press conference with Jerry Jones? How he was like, "Yo, this isn't the kind of pick I'm comfortable with." The man sitting right next to him, it's like, man, listen, I'm used to uncomfortable situations, so that's why I got him here. What you think?
I'm just going to give you what all the Dallas fans was feeling.
Yeah,
Nobody inspired. Nobody.
yeah,
Hey, you should have kept Mike McCarthy. At least he had 12-win season. At least he a
yeah.
Super Bowl winning coach.
Every Cowboys fan I've talked to, every Cowboys fan I've talked to, every last one, they all just seem so sad. They're like, man, like, what are we doing?
This is the first time in history where not a single Dallas Cowboy said after this pickup, we win the Super Bowl next year.
Bruh. And what's weird though with the Cowboys, and this may change this year, but what's been weird with the Cowboys is they're not bad to get a high pick, but they're not good enough to realistically go or have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. They can't even make it to the NFC Championship. Now with this coaching, and you know what, just to keep it a buck. Well, I don't root for the Cowboys. I'm not a Cowboys fan. I don't root against them per se, but I'm indifferent. I hope that coach has success, that he does well, that this is a stepping stone to his career, everything like that. But if this goes south, this may be the coaching pick that helps rebuild the Cowboys.
I'm gonna be honest with
get them a high pick.
I think the dude in a lose-lose situation.
Mm.
Because you got, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you don't at least make it to the NFC Championship game, it's a failure. Because we seen the coach that just got fired have back 12-win season.
Right.
And you fired him. You'd have been better off going, look, you'd have been better off waiting to see what Kellen Moore do in the Super Bowl. At least then you have a Super Bowl caliber coach. They're saying, hey, I know what it takes. I know the formula. Let me bring it to Dallas. You know what I'm saying?
Give him the Kyle Shanahan type support.
Right.
After the Atlanta.
It's clear that he want to run the ball. That he will run the ball. He showed it this year. So that means Mike McCarthy was saying throw.
Yeah. No,
so
fact.
He put out the blame on
Kellen.
So
yeah, no, he for sure threw him under the bus. Okay, so we're on the same page here. My last question for you.
Yes, sir.
Last question before we get out of here.
Yes, sir.
MVP. Who you got?
Man, I think it's gonna be Lamar, man. But I don't think he care about the MVP. I don't even think he'll come on. I don't even think he's gonna even come on and do it himself to speak.
Okay, and then Offensive Player of the Year?
Saquon.
I agree on both. So with that being the case, what does that mean for Josh Allen if he gets left out of the awards?
Violins.
All right, well, it's nothing nice. It's nothing nice. Yo, so we appreciate y'all pulling up with us. We're getting closer and closer to the Super Bowl. Super excited. Y'all pull up next week. We have some guests coming through. We're going to get loud. We're going to get crazy and excited. All that. There's going to be some trash talk. I already know it based on the people we have pulling up. So y'all just tune in. Yo, appreciate y'all pulling up. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, all that. Good looking out. Catch the Pro Bowl too. We out. Nothing nice.
Yes, sir.